Hello and welcome back to our Nullitaire playthrough of Love Letter. So once again, Nullitaire here means that we're playing with 0 players. That is to say, we're playing bots against each other. And we're in the middle of a tournament right now. I've decided to play all the bots against each other in a tournament. It's a double elimination style tournament. Here's the bracket so far. We played the first 2 rounds already in the last video. And in that round, TurkeyBot defeated HawkBot, and so moved on in the winners bracket. And DoveBot defeated RavenBot, moved on in that bracket. And the losers moved down to the losers bracket. So in this video, we're going to play the losers bracket game first, HawkBot versus RavenBot. Whoever loses that game is out of the tournament because they will have lost 2 games. Whoever wins will go on in the losers bracket to go up against whoever loses from the second head-to-head matchup in this video, which will be TurkeyBot versus DoveBot. Okay, so we start with HawkBot versus RavenBot. Let's get going. Okay, the game is set up. First hand has been dealt. First player was just determined randomly, and HawkBot won the coin toss. So his first player. And the first hand is a 4-3. So HawkBot's going to come out aggressive here and just play the 3. So demands a showdown immediately. And again, like I said in the last video, that's, the 4 is not as low a card as it might seem because the 3 is the median card in the deck. So there are quite a few cards in the deck lower than the 4. There are more cards lower than the 4 than there are higher than the 4. And by the way, the 8 and the 7 are both in the flop, so to speak, at the beginning of the round. So actually, this is it actually is pretty likely that the 4 will be the higher card here. There's only, let's see, 2 princes and the king that can beat it. So that's only 3 cards in the deck that it would lose to. Okay, so RavenBot takes a chance here. Let's see if it beats RavenBot. Yeah, sure does. Okay, so HawkBot takes the first token of affection. The first hand of this round, HawkBot starts with a 6-5. And so we'll play the 5. Prince. Okay. Since nobody knows HawkBot's hand, it won't choose itself. So it'll force RavenBot to discard its hand, which is a handmaid. Okay. And so RavenBot gets a new card. RavenBot has a 2-1. And so it will play the 2 and have a look at HawkBot's hand, which of course is the king. HawkBot now has the 6-3. The 6 is compromised, of course, because RavenBot knows that HawkBot's holding that card. So that's why I turn it on its side like that. Okay, so the 6-3, HawkBot would like to play the 3. Okay, 6 is a pretty high card, so likely to win this. So, showdown, higher card wins. Okay, HawkBot wins again. HawkBot starts the next round with the Countess Prince. And of course, the Countess must be played in this situation. She must be played whenever she finds herself in a hand with the King of the Prince. Okay, but that doesn't do anything. RavenBot has a 4-1, and so we'll play the 4. Okay, and so can't be targeted for the rest of the round. HawkBot has a 5-5, Prince. So obviously must play the prince, and because of the handmaid, must target itself, and so discards the other prince and draws a new card. RavenBot now has a guard, so play guard. And it'll choose the number with 2 unseen cards and first in this list, 3, 4, 5, 2. Okay. Well, there's a 3 there that's been seen, a 4 has been seen, both 5s are gone, there's a 2. Okay, so none of those are in play, or all of those have been seen, sorry. So next number with one unseen card and first in this list, 8634752. All right, well, the princess has not been seen. So Ravenbot's going to say, Hawkbot, I think you're holding the princess. That is not true. Okay. Hawkbot also draws the guard. So we'll play the guard. And Hawkbot goes for the highest number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. Well, we've seen at least one of each of those. There's a 5, a 4, a 3, and a 2. Okay, so then it just goes for the highest unseen card, which again is the 8. So Hawkbot's now going to accuse Ravenbot of holding the princess, and is also wrong about that. The Raven gets a 4 or 1, and so we'll want to play the 4 in this case. Okay, and so it can't be targeted again for another round. Hawkbot finds the princess, and so must play the guard. But because of the handmaid in play, the guard doesn't do anything. Okay, this is bad news for the Hawkbot. Ravenbot gets the 6-1, and so we'll want to play the 1. Okay. And as before, all of the cards 2 to 5 have been seen at least once. So the third priority comes into play here for Ravenbot. It'll take the highest number on the list, 8634752, that hasn't been seen. Of course, that's a princess, which is exactly what Hawkbot is holding. So Hawkbot is out, and Ravenbot wins its first token of affection. Ravenbot starts the next round with the princess and a priest. So, of course, we'll play the priest and take a look at Hawkbot's hand, which is a guard. Hawkbot now has the double guard, so we'll play one of them. And we'll guess the highest number, 2 to 5, that has 2 unseen cards. Okay, well, the 5 can be seen, but no 4s can be seen. So that'll be Hawkbot's guess. Ravenbot, are you holding the 4? No. Well, Ravenbot has a 4 now. Okay, so play the 4, and that will get some protection for the rest of the round. Hawkbot now with the Countess guard, and we'll play the guard in this case. But that won't actually do anything because of the handmaid. Ravenbot has the 8-2 again, so plays the priest and takes a look at Hawkbot's hand. This time sees the Countess there. For Hawkbot now, the Countess is compromised, but she has to be played in this case anyway, because whenever she finds herself in a hand with the king, she must be discarded. Okay, but that doesn't do anything. Ravenbot has the princess guard, so we'll play the guard. And doesn't know Hawkbot's card anymore. Saw the 7, but the 7 was just played, so doesn't have that knowledge anymore. So the number with 2 unseen cards and first in this list, 3452. All right, well, a 3 has been seen, a 4 has been seen, a 5 has been seen, and a 2 has been seen. Okay. So the next priority is a number with 1 unseen card and first in this list, 8634752. Well, the princess, obviously, Ravenbot can see in its own hand. But 6 is next. The king does not see the king. Oh, but Hawkbot is holding a king, isn't it? Okay. So Ravenbot says, I think you're holding a king, Hawkbot, and that turns out to be correct. Okay. So Ravenbot wins this round. So the game is tied right now at 2-2. Ravenbot's first hand in the next round is a 5-3. And so it will want to play the 3 in this case. Take its chances on a showdown with the 5. You know, the princess was in the flop there. So this is a pretty strong play. There's only, 2 cards in the deck right now that could beat the 5. That's the king and the countess. So it's pretty likely that Ravenbot's going to win the showdown. Okay, so it's the prince up against whatever Hawkbot's holding. Oh, bad luck. for Ravenbot there. Hawkbot had the Countess. Okay, so Hawkbot wins this one. Hawkbot starts the next round with a 6-1. And of course, we'll want to play the 1 in that case. Yep. Okay. And so it will want to guess the highest number 2 to 5 that is 2 unseen cards. All right, well, no 5 has been seen yet. So it will say 5. Is Ravenbot holding a 5? No. Okay. Ravenbot has the 3-2, and so we'll want to play the 2. Okay, have a peek at Hawkbot's hand, which is the king. So Hawkbot has the 6-5, and the 6 is compromised because Ravenbot just looked at it. So looking at the programming here, it actually says to play the 5. It might seem a little strange. You might want to think get rid of that king, but actually the procedure for playing the 5 is if a player knows your hand, choose yourself. So Hawkbot is going to play the 5 and actually choose itself to throw away the king. Okay, so that gets rid of the compromise problem, and it draws a new card. Ravenbot with the 5-3 again. And so we'll play the 3, of course. And this time, the odds are even better for Ravenbot because the king is gone and the princess is gone. So there's only one card that it could lose to, and that's the Countess. But it lost to the Countess last time. Will it happen to him again? Let's see. No. Okay. So Ravenbot wins this one. The game is tied at 3-3 now. And Ravenbot's up first in this round with a 5-1. And so it will want to play the 5 in this case. Okay, so it plays 5. And it doesn't know where the 8 is. Its hand's not an 8, and no player knows its hand, so simply chooses the other player to discard its hand. So Hawkbot loses a 2 and draws a new card. Hawkbot now has the 7-4 and will want to play the 4 in this case. So the handmaid is the play, and that means can't be targeted for the rest of the round. Ravenbot now has a 6-1, so of course we'll want to play the 1, but that actually won't do anything because of the handmaid over there. Hawkbot now with the 7-5, and so must play the 7 in this case, which doesn't do anything. The Raven has a 6-1 again, and so we'll make the same play, the 1. This time it will actually do something though because there's no handmaid in play. Okay, so it doesn't know Hawkbot's number. So we'll go with the number with 2 unseen cards in first in this list, 3, 4, 5, 2. Well, let's see. A 3's been seen, a 4's been seen, a 5's been seen, a 2's been seen. Okay, so on to the next priority. Number with 1 unseen card in first in this list. 8, 6, 3, 4, 7, 5, 2. Okay, well, I can see an 8 up there. The princess was in the flop. I can see a 6. It's in Ravenbot's hand. And so 3 is the next priority, and there is still a 3 out there. I've only seen 1 3. So Ravenbot will say, Hawkbot, I think you're holding the Baron. And that is incorrect. Hawkbot picks up a 5-2. And in this case, we'll play the 2. And have a look at Ravenbot's hand, which is the king. Okay, bad situation for Ravenbot now. It's the 6-1 again. That's 3 times in a row. They drew a guard with the king. But the king is compromised in this case. But still, playing the king here is really kind of terrible. Because, as I've mentioned before, with the 6-1, you end up giving a guard away to someone who knows what your card is because they give it to you. So that puts you in a very, very vulnerable position. So generally speaking, it's better just to play the 1 no matter what, which is what Ravenbot's going to do. So, so it's going to hang on to that compromised king and hope for the best. All right, well, let's just play the guard, so maybe it'll be able to guess Hawkbot's hand and get him out. Okay, so it's going to go number with 2 unseen cards, 3, 4, 5, 2. We've already established that at least one of each of those cards has been seen. So then first on the list with 1 unseen card, 8, 6, 3, 4, 7, 5, 2. And I think that ends up being the 3 again. Yeah, so Ravenbot can see an 8, can see a 6. So the next priority is a 3. Can only see one of the 3s. So to say, Hawkbot, I think you're holding the 3. And again, that's wrong. Okay. So Ravenbot gets kind of lucky that Hawkbot didn't draw a guard here. There is a guard left in the deck. I've only seen 4 of them. But Hawkbot gets a handmade. So with the 5-4, the Hawk will play the 4. Okay. So can't be targeted for the rest of this round. So it looks like Ravenbot got away with holding that compromised king after all. Ravenbot picks up the 6-3, and this is the last card in the deck. Okay, so with the 6-3, Ravenbot will play the 3 and go for the immediate showdown, and of course will win that against the 5. Okay, so Ravenbot wins this round. Ravenbot starts the next round with a 4-2. And we'll want to play the 2 in this case. And have a peek at Hawkbot's hand, which is a Countess. Okay. Hawkbot picks up a guard. And the Countess is compromised because Ravenbot just looked at it. And so with the 7-1, Hawkbot does play the 7. See, that C7 means play the 7 if it's compromised. So Hawkbot will just play the Countess, which doesn't do anything. Ravenbot now has a 5-4. And in this situation, we'll play the 5. Okay. And looking at the procedures, Ravenbot doesn't know where the 8 is. Its hand is not an 8, and no player knows its hand. So simply chooses randomly from all the other players, and there's only 1. So Hawkbot has to discard its hand and draw a new card. Hawkbot has a priest guard. And so, like a true hawk, we'll just go aggressive and play the guard. Don't try to gather any information, just go for it, you know? That's hawk style play. All right, so it doesn't know Ravenbot's card, so highest number 2 to 5, that is 2 unseen cards. Well, the 5 has been seen, so 4 is the next priority. So it says, Ravenbot, I think you're holding the 4, and that is right. So Hawkbot wins this round. Game is still neck and neck at 4-4, and Hawkbot starts the next round with the exact same hand it ended the last round with. And so once again goes aggressive. Just plays the 1. Doesn't bother to try to gain any information with that priest. And it'll go with the highest number 2 to 5. That is 2 unseen cards. Okay, well, no 5 has been seen. So it's going to go with the 5. Ravenbot, are you holding the 5? No. Okay, so it didn't work out that time, Hawkbot. Well, okay. Well, this is the best hand in the game, as far as I'm concerned, the 8-3. So Ravenbot plays the 3 and initiates an immediate showdown that it can't possibly lose. And so Ravenbot wins this round. Ravenbot starts the next round with the guard. And incidentally, there were 2 guards in the flop. So it looks like the guards are going to be gone early in this round. All right, so start with the guard. And so Ravenbot, of course, will choose the number in this list, first in this list with 2 unseen cards, 3, 4, 5, 2. Well, 1, 3 can be seen up there. So 4 is the next priority. No 4s can be seen. So Hawkbot, are you holding a 4? No. Okay. Well, it's got a 4 now, and we'll play it. Okay, so the hand makes the play here, and so Hawkbot cannot be targeted for the rest of the round. The Raven finds the princess now, and so must play the guard, but that won't do anything because of the handmaid. Hawkbot finds another handmaid, and so that will be the play again. And so cannot be targeted once again for the rest of the round. Interesting. This is usually a pretty powerful hand because you play the 6 and then give the princess to someone so you know exactly where she is. But in this case, nothing's going to happen here because of the handmaid. So the 6 is just played and does nothing. Hawkbot now with a 7-1, and so we'll play its favorite card, the guard. Okay. And so we'll take a guess at Ravenbot's hand. Highest number 2 to 5, that is 2 unseen cards. All right, well, no 5 has been seen yet by Hawkbot. So it'll guess that Ravenbot's holding a prince, which is incorrect. Ravenbot now has the 8-5, so it will play the prince, and obviously can't choose itself, or else it'll be out. So Hawkbot has to discard its hand and draw a new card. Hawkbot has a 5-2, and plays the 2, which I had to think about for a minute, because I was like, well, I mean, wouldn't a hawk go kind of aggressive here and play a 5 and make someone discard their hand in the hopes of there being a princess? Which in this case, by the way, would be correct. But no, Hawkbot plays the 2 here. And it's, because the way I designed this bot is I designed it to prioritize playing lower cards, thinking of the priest and the guard as more aggressive cards. So the prince is considered more of a defensive card, even though, yeah, it does make someone discard their hand, but that doesn't get them out of the round unless they happen to be holding the princess, which is, not terribly likely. You only have a 1 in 16 chance of holding the princess. So anyway, the play is a priest here, and so now Hawkbot will know that Ravenbot's holding the princess now anyway. But there's only 1 card left in the deck, so that's probably not going to be useful information. Ravenbot draws a priest, and so must play it, of course. But this is the last card in the deck, so Ravenbot's definitely going to win this. So anyway, the priest, gets to take a look. Oh, you have a prince over there. Interesting. Okay, showdown time. Ravenbot wins. Well, this has been the closest game we've seen so far this tournament. Ravenbot has 6, and Hawkbot has 4. So if Ravenbot wins this round, it's all over. Hawkbot will be knocked out of the tournament, and Ravenbot will move on. Okay, so let's see what happens. Ravenbot starts the round with a 3-2, which means that Raven will want to play the 2. Okay, play the 2, take a peek at Hawkbot's hand, which, if I can pick it up, is the other priest. Okay. Hawkbot has a 7-2, and the 2 is compromised. But the 2 will be the play anyway. So Hawkbot will take a look now at Ravenbot's hand and sees the Baron over there. Ravenbot now has the 6-3. The 3's compromised. But that'll be the play anyway. Ravenbot thinks a 6 is high enough to initiate a showdown, but is going to be upset when he sees that Hawkbot has him beat. Okay, so Hawkbot wins this round. So now it's 6-5, and once again, if Ravenbot wins this, he wins the whole thing and Hawkbot's knocked out. If Hawkbot can manage to hold on and win this hand, then it'll be tied 6-6, and it'll come down to whoever wins the last hand. Okay, let's see what happens. Hawkbot starts out with a 2-1. And that means play the 1. Hawkbot, of course, going aggressive, as hawks do. And so we'll choose the highest number, 2 to 5, that has 2 unseen cards. Okay, well, no 5 has been seen. Both the 3s are up there, there's a 2 in hand, but no 5s have been seen, so Ravenbot, are you holding the 5? No. Okay. Ravenbot now has a 4-1, and so it will play the 4. Okay, buy itself a little time. Hawkbot again with the 2-1, and so just like last time, we'll play the 1. But this time it doesn't do anything because of the handmaid. Ravenbot picks up the double guard, so plays 1. And we'll choose the number with 2 unseen cards first in this list, 3, 4, 5, 2. Okay, well, there's a 3 that can be seen. There's a 4. But no 5 can be seen anywhere. So Ravenbot will say, Hawkbot, I think you're holding a 5, and that's incorrect. The double priest for Hawkbot. Okay, so player priest, take a look at Ravenbot's hand, and it's a boring old guard. Ravenbot now with a 4-1. The guard is compromised, but as I mentioned before, that's usually not that big a deal. In any case, the Raven plays the 4 here, the handmaid, and so can't be targeted. Hawkbot now has a 5-2, and so we'll play the 2 in this case. Okay. But that won't do anything because of the handmaid. Ravenbot now with a 5-1. And so that'll mean playing the 5. Okay, the 5. And Ravenbot would only choose itself if another player knew its hand. Well, interesting thing is that Hawkbot does know Ravenbot's hand. Know that Ravenbot's holding a 1. So by the procedures, Ravenbot's going to throw away its own hand. Choose itself and get rid of that guard. Draw a new card. Hawkbot now finds the princess, and it's the last hand of the deck. So Hawkbot's probably going to win this one. Okay, so it plays the prince, of course, and won't choose itself because it's going to be out. So Ravenbot will have to throw away its hand. It's the countess. And when the deck is empty and the prince requires you to discard your hand, you end up taking that hidden card into your hand. Okay, but now it's showdown time, so no matter what it is, the Hawkbot wins. So we're tied, 6-6. It's all going to come down to the last hand. So the game is tied, 6-6. Whoever wins this hand wins this round. Whoever loses is knocked out. And Hawkbot won the last hand, so Hawkbot begins this round. So what hand does our hyper-aggressive Hawkbot start with? The 5-3. Of course, the Hawkbot is just going to play that 3, isn't it? 5-3, yep. Play the 3 and initiate an immediate showdown with the 5. And here's the thing, the king is up there in the flop, so there's actually only 2 cards Ravenbot could have that would save it. That's the princess and the countess. I mean, the Ravenbot could have a 5 and tie. That's possible too. But the only way Ravenbot can win this is with the 8 or the 7. Okay, so here we go. It comes down to this. Let's see. Oh! Oh, man. They tied. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. Ravenbot's still in it. All right. Why shouldn't they tie? You know, they're tied. They're tied on tokens of affection. This is totally appropriate, you know. They would tie in that moment. All right. So the game goes on. I was kind of hoping that Ravenbot would draw the other three. And then so, they would do the same thing again. But actually, they wouldn't because now the 5 is compromised. They both know that the other's holding 5. So anyway, even if it had 5-3, it would play the 5. So 5-2 also is going to play the 5 because it's compromised. Okay, and so with the 5, Ravenbot would only choose itself if the other player knows its hand, which it doesn't. So Hawkbot has to discard their hand and take a new card. Okay. Hawkbot finds the princess with a guard. So must play the guard, of course. Okay, and that means the highest number 2 to 5, that is 2 unseen cards. All right, well, the 5s, of course, have both been seen. There's a 4 up there. There's a 3 there. So it looks like 2 is the highest. Oh, Ravenbot is holding a 2. Ravenbot's out. Hawkbot stages a comeback and wins this game. Ravenbot is out of the tournament. Wow, what a game. Yeah, that might be the most fun I've had playing any game Nullitaire. That was so much fun. It really was exciting all the way through. But Hawkbot comes out victorious in the end, and Ravenbot is knocked out of the tournament. Okay, so Hawkbot will go up against the loser of the next game, which will be Turkeybot versus Dovebot. Loser of that game goes up against Hawkbot in the next round. The winner moves on in the winner's bracket. Okay, let's see what happens between Turkeybot and Dovebot. Okay, we're ready for the next game, Dovebot versus Turkeybot. And first player was chosen randomly. Dovebot won the random coin toss and starts the game with the Princess Guard. So the guard will be the play there. And Turkeybot, not Turkeybot anymore, Dovebot, wants to choose the highest number 2 to 5, that is 2 unseen cards. Okay, none of those cards have been seen yet, so it'll say 5. Turkeybot, are you holding a 5? Nope. Turkeybot now has a 5-4, which means it will play a random card, so we'll have to roll on that. The roll is a 5, so Turkeybot will play the higher card, which is the prince in this case. So choose a player to discard their hand. Turkeybot never chooses itself. So Dovebot will have to discard their hand, which is the princess. So Turkeybot wins the first token of affection. Turkeybot starts the next hand with a 5-1. And so we'll play one of those randomly. The roll is a 5 again, so once again, we'll play the higher card, and it won't choose itself. So Dovebot has to discard its hand. It's a 2. Okay. Dovebot has the double guard, and so we'll play a guard. And we'll choose the highest card, 2 to 5, that is 2 unseen cards. Okay, so 5 has been seen, but no 4 has been seen, so it'll guess 4. Turkeybot says, nope, no 4. Turkeybot picks up the princess, so it must play the guard. And we'll guess a random number 2 to 5, that is 2 unseen cards. Okay, well, a 5 has been seen, a 3 has been seen, a 2 has been seen. So 4 is the only number that hasn't been seen in there. So no reason to make a random roll. It'll just say 4, and that's not correct. Dovebot now has a prince guard, and that means it will play the 5. It doesn't know anything, nothing's compromised, so it'll play the 5. And that's probably bad news for Turkeybot here. Okay, doesn't know where the 8 is, it's not holding an 8, it's not holding a 4 to 7. Okay, so it just chooses the other player to discard their hand, and of course that's the princess, so Dovebot wins this one. Dovebot starts the next hand with a 6-2, and that means it will play the 6. Okay. So plays the 6 and trades hands with Turkeybot. So it gives the priest for a baron. Turkeybot now has the double priest. So the 2 being compromised is not going to be a problem. I'll play one of those priests and take a look. It already knows that Dubbot's holding the baron, but there you go. Well, not a good position for Dovebot here. The 3-1, and the 3's been compromised. But still, playing a 3 here would be a very bad idea. So we'll play the 1. And hope that the compromised baron won't be a problem. Okay, so for a 1, highest number 2 to 5, that is 2 unseen cards. Well, Dubbot can see a 5, but can't see a 4 anywhere. So it's going to guess 4, and that's going to be wrong. Okay. Turkeybot has a 4-2, and it will play the, well, it'll play a random card here. But, the 2 is kind of a dumb play. I mean, it already knows what card Turkeybot's holding, or sorry, Dubbot's holding. It knows it's holding a 3. So the priest is not that effective. But anyway, Turkeybot will make a random roll on this. The roll's a 3, so it will play the lower card, which, is the priest. So that's not very useful. Just to take a look at this card again, but already knows it's a 3. On the other hand, I mean, holding on to the handmaid maybe for a position where the defense will be a little more useful. It's not a terrible idea. Dubbot now has a 5-3, and again, that baron is still compromised. Dubbot would play the 5 in this case, which we saw this before. That might seem like a strange thing to do, but given that the 3 is compromised. But the procedures here will have Dubbot choose itself, the third part of the procedure. If you're holding a 4 through 7, or a player knows your hand, choose yourself. Yeah, player knows the hand. So Dubbot will choose itself, throw away the baron, and draw a new card. Now you might wonder why Dubbot didn't play the 3 there and just initiate a showdown holding the 5. And the reason because Dubbot is extremely defensive, right? So the strategy behind Dubbot is it doesn't play aggressive cards unless it knows it can win, for sure. So it wouldn't play the 3 in that case because the 5 can be beaten by other cards. So anyway, that was the reason for that play. Okay, Turkeybot is next, and Turkeybot has a 4-3. And so it will be a random choice there. The roll is a 3, so Turkeybot will play the lower card, which is the baron. And that means that a showdown lower card is out. Okay, so Dubbot's out. Turkeybot wins this one. The turkey starts the next hand with a 2-1. And that means play 1 randomly. The roll is a 2, so Turkeybot will play the lower card. That's the guard. And it will choose a random number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. Okay, well there's a 2 and a 5 up there. So it won't choose those. So it'll be either 3 or 4, and choose randomly between those 2. The roll is a 6, so it will choose the higher number, and guess that Dubbot is holding a 4, which is not the case. Dubbot now has a 4-1, and so we'll play its favorite card, of course, the 4. Nothing the Dove likes better than a handmaid. So it can't be targeted for the rest of the round. Turkeybot now has the 3-2. And in this situation, we'll play the 2, even though it won't actually do anything. Can't target Dubbot right now. Well, Dubbot again with the handmaid guard. Okay, so same as last time. Play the handmaid. Can't be targeted. Interesting. So Turkeybot also has the same hand as last time. And so the same thing happens. Play the priest to no effect. Dubbot now finds the princess, so plays the guard. And so guesses the highest number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. Well, a 5, a 4, and a 2 can be seen, so 3 is the only number there. The it can't be seen, so that's going to be the guess, and that will be it for TurkeyBot for this round. Okay, so DovBot wins this one. So far it's been just back and forth between these two. They're tied now, one each. And DovBot starts out the next hand with a 5-4. And so we'll play the 4 in this case. Big surprise. DovBot loves the handmade. Okay, so can't be targeted the rest of the round. TurkeyBot now has a 5-1, and so we'll play one randomly. The roll is a 2, so TurkeyBot will play the lower card. That doesn't actually do anything because of the handmade. DovBot has the 5-1, and that means play the 5. Don't know anyone's card, so play the 5. Okay. So looking at the procedures here, DovBot doesn't know where the 8 is. The hand is not an 8. Hand's not a 4 through 7. No player knows its card. Okay. So it just chooses the other player to discard their hand. So TurkeyBot throws away its prince and draws a new card. TurkeyBot has the Princess Priest. So of course plays the priest. And has a look at DovBot's hand, sees a card. DovBot now has a 3-1, and so of course we'll play the 1. Okay. And so it doesn't know TurkeyBot's cards, so I'll choose the highest number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. Well, there's a 5, a 4, a 3, and a 2. Okay, so those all have been seen at least once. Then we'll just go for the highest unseen card, which of course is the princess. And that's bad news for TurkeyBot, who is in fact holding the princess. Okay, so DovBot wins this round. So DovBot starts the next round with the 4-3. And you know, we saw this hand with Hawkbot before, and Hawkbot would play the 3 here and just take his chances with the handmade because, you know, the chances are better than 50% of winning with the handmade. But the Dove doesn't play like that. The Dove only plays the Baron when it knows it will win. So the 4-3, yeah, it's gonna play the 4. You see the programming there. If it knows that someone's holding a 1, 2, 3, then it'll play the 3. Otherwise, it'll just play the 4. Okay, be very defensive. TurkeyBot gets the 8-6. So of course the 6 must be the play, which normally would be a good thing. You know, give the princess to someone else. You know exactly where it is. But the handmaid's in play, so the king actually doesn't do anything. DovBot now has a 3-1, and so we'll play the 1. Okay. And so we'll choose the highest number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. Well, no 5 has been seen by DovBot. So that'll be the choice, and of course that's wrong. TurkeyBot now has the 8-1, so must play the guard. And we'll choose a random number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. Okay, well, no 5 has been seen. There's a 4. No 3 has been seen by TurkeyBot, but a 2 has. Okay, so it'll choose either the 3 or the 5, and it'll choose randomly between those two. The roll is a 1, so it'll guess the lower number, which was 3, and that means DovBot is out. TurkeyBot wins this round. Again, we're tied at 3 apiece. TurkeyBot starts this round with a 3-1, and so of course we'll play the 1. And we'll choose a random number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. Okay, well, no 5 can be seen. The 4s and the 3s can be seen, and no 2 can be seen. So it'll choose randomly between 2 and 5. The roll is a 1, so it'll choose the lower number, which is 2. So it'll see if DovBot has a priest. That's not correct. DovBot now has the countess and a guard. And so we'll play the countess. DovBot loves to hold those 1s for defensive purposes. All right, the countess doesn't do anything. TurkeyBot now has a 4-3. And as usual, we'll just choose a random one. The roll is a 5. So TurkeyBot will play the higher number, which is the handmade. some protection for the rest of the round. Dubbot draws guard guard, so must play one, but it doesn't do anything because of the handmade. Turkeybot has a 5-3, and as usual, we'll play one randomly. The roll is a 5, so it will play the higher card, which is the Prince. Okay, looking at the procedure here for the Prince. If you know where an 8 is, it doesn't know where the 8 is, or if you're holding an 8. Okay, so we'll just choose the other player. Dubbot will have to discard her hand and draw a new card. Dubbot has a 2-1, and so we'll play the 2 and take a look at Turkeybot's hand, which is the Baron. Turkeybot with the 5-3 again, but this time the 3 is compromised, so that changes things. So it'll play a compromised card for the 5-3. Okay, so we'll play the Baron and initiate the showdown. Highest card wins, and that's Turkeybot. Turkeybot starts the next hand with a 4-3, and it will choose a random number to select the card. The roll is a 1, so that means the turkey's going to go for it. Play the Baron and initiate a showdown between the handmaid and whatever card Dubbot has. Oh, tie once again. Okay, so the game goes on. Dubbot draws a Prince, and so we'll play the handmaid. Okay, so a little protection for the rest of the round. Turkeybot has a 4-2, and the 4 is compromised, so yeah, that will be the play. Play the compromised card, okay. So Turkeybot also gets some protection for the rest of the round. Oh man, what a terrible hand for Dubbot. Because of the handmaid in play, Dubbot will have to play the 5, and the only person that can be targeted to discard their hand is Dubbot itself, so has to target itself and throw away the princess, eliminating it from the round, so Turkeybot wins. Turkeybot starts the next hand with 5-4, and that means a random selection. The roll is a 5, so Turkeybot will play the higher card, which is the Prince. And Turkeybot never selects itself with the Prince, so Dubbot will have to discard its hand. That's the King. And draw a new card. Dubbot now has the 4-1, and so of course we'll play its favorite card, the 4. Turkeybot now has the princess and the handmaid, so of course we'll play the handmaid and get a little defense for the princess. Dubbot now with the double guard, so it must play one, but it doesn't do anything because of the handmaid. Turkeybot now picks up a priest, so it must play that and take a look at Dubbot's hand, which is a guard. Dubbot now has the guard again, so must play one. And this time there's no handmaid in play, so the princess is vulnerable. Okay, so it will choose the highest number 2 to 5 those 2 unseen cards. So there's a 5, a 4, there's a 3, there's a 2. Okay, well, that's bad news for Turkeybot then. So Dubbot just chooses the highest unseen card, which of course is the princess, and that means Turkeybot is out. Dubbot starts the next hand with a 5-3, and that means it wants to play the 5. Okay, again, playing very defensively here. Doesn't want to take a chance on losing with the Baron. So with the 5, it does not choose itself. So Turkeybot has to discard its hand. Oh, wow. Very lucky for Turkeybot. The 3 would have been the wrong play. Look at that. Okay, So TurkeyBot's out this round. DoveBot wins. So the game is now tied at 5 each. So the next round here, DoveBot starts with a 6-1. And so, of course, we'll play the 1. Okay. So that means selecting the highest number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. Okay, well, there's a 5 there, but no 4 has been seen yet. So that'll be the choice. TurkeyBot, are you holding a 4? No. Okay. TurkeyBot has the guard, so we'll play a guard. And we'll choose a random number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. All right, well, there's a 5 and a 2 in the flop up there, so TurkeyBot will choose either the 3 or the 4, and it will do that randomly. The roll is a 6, so it will take the higher card. So it will guess that RavenBot is holding a 4, and that is incorrect. DoveBot now has a 6-3. And looking at the programming here, there's a typo. There's a double slash there for some reason. That's one of those should be deleted. Okay, but this is interesting because DoveBot's going to play the 3 here. Even though it's not guaranteed that the king is the highest card. I mean, the countess and the princess are still out there, so it's possible DoveBot could lose here. But my thinking on the DoveBot when it came to the Baron is that I thought, well, DoveBot should play the Baron when it feels like it's got at least a 75% chance of winning. So I kind of thought something like this, that DoveBot should play the 3 when it has a 75% chance of winning. RavenBot should play the 3 when it has at least a 50% chance of winning. And HawkBot would play the 3 when it had at least a 25% chance of winning. So that was kind of my thinking. I didn't want the DoveBot to be so scared, of playing a 3 that it just never did it unless it had the princess or knew it had the highest card or something. That would be playing a little too scared. Okay, so this is a case where DoveBot thinks, okay, the 6, that's high enough. The 5 is not, though. I mean, we saw a 5-3 before. With 5-3, generally, DoveBot wants to play the 5 because, all things being equal, not knowing any other card in the deck, it's something like a 72% chance of winning with a 5 or something like that. So I thought that's not quite high enough for DoveBot. But a 6, that's high enough. I think it's an 80-some-odd% chance of winning with a king. Okay, so anyway, DoveBot plays the 3. So initiates a showdown with the king and wins that. So DoveBot has 6 tokens of affection now. It only takes 1 more to win the whole game. Okay, so if DoveBot wins this hand, it wins the whole game. If TurkeyBot can manage to win, then it'll all come down to one single round to determine the winner. Okay, so DoveBot starts with a 5-1, and we'll want to play the 5 in this case. Okay, so it plays the 5, and won't choose itself unless it has a 4-7 or a player knows its hand. So we'll choose TurkeyBot to discard its hand, and TurkeyBot has a guard. Okay. TurkeyBot with the Countess and Handmaid. It will, of course, play 1 randomly, so we'll have to roll on that. The roll is a 6, so TurkeyBot will play the higher card, which is the Countess, and that doesn't do anything. DoveBot has the guard. Of course, we'll play 1. And we'll choose the highest number 2 to 5 that has 2 unseen cards. Yeah, I think this is going to be bad news for TurkeyBot because a 5 can be seen. So the next highest card that has 2 unseen cards is the 4. So that's going to be it. DoveBot says, TurkeyBot, you're holding a 4, which is absolutely right. Okay, there you have it. DoveBot wins. So another exciting matchup in our tournament. DoveBot defeats TurkeyBot. So DoveBot moves on in the winner's bracket. TurkeyBot moves down into the loser's bracket. So that'll be it for this video. In our next installment, last installment of this series, our first game will be TurkeyBot taking on Hawkbot. The loser of that round will be knocked out of the tournament. The winner will go on to battle DoveBot head-to-head, and whoever wins that will be the winner of the tournament. Unless DoveBot loses that round, in which case they'll have to play again, because a player has to lose twice to be knocked out of a double elimination tournament, and DoveBot will have only lost once in that case. So there's a possibility for a third game next time. All right, well, we'll see what happens then, and I hope to see you then. Till then, bye.